It's me. Uh, this is gonna be probably a shorter entry. Uh, I'm not even gonna record like gameplay or like do gameplay or whatever for this. Cause I have like 4 or 5, I think, videos I still need to uh, get done with editing or whatever. Cause I'm retarded. uh, but sorry. I've been tired and just life and whatever. I should start up. So that video last. I have my feet up right now with my thing, so if you see me like shifting, see here, whatever. I did my speech, and which is what the last video was. For my class, and a ton of girls ended up liking it. Who were in that class, and they were like, "Hey, can you send me that?" Which I'm not sure if they're just fully making fun of me or if they just think it's funny. But yeah, that's cool. Earlier today, I was getting out of school. I get out early because I have a study hall for my last class, and you just get picked up. But on my way out, coming from the 4th floor and heading down to the 2nd, because with the way the school is set up, it's the entrance and exit is on the 2nd floor. I was on the 4th floor, so I was going down, and I saw this guy who was, I couldn't say how old he seemed. He was in my school, and he was clearly a student, but, yeah. And he was a guy, and he had a white, like, face mask, on, and long hair. And, he was standing there, kind of at the railing in between the 4th and the 2nd floor. And because it was one of those not twisty, but like, go left and up, and then right and up, and then, whatever. I passed him, and, I had a feeling, he probably wasn't just, I don't think, obviously, I don't think he was planning anything, but literally yesterday, I think, I'm not sure if it's 12, but the day before this happened, which I'll just say today and then yesterday, I did the exact same thing as him. I was going up the steps, and I was a little late to class, and, I looked over the balcony, and, I got a couple of thoughts, whatever. Which March is over, so I'm basically LARPing, or whatever, but, I don't know. I think he, was suffering from that same affliction as I was. And I didn't do anything. And I don't know why I didn't do anything. Just in general. Like, I was passing the guy, I could have interacted with him, just said, like, hey, are you good? Are you okay? I'm sure it would have made him feel whatever, but for whatever reason, I at least, hadn't somewhat of an understanding, and I just walked by him. I was early anyway, to leave. My mom was picking me up wherever. I'd get there in time. And yet, for some reason, I simply didn't reach out to this guy. I have zero clue why. As someone who definitely relates to that stance, and who, is happy when someone is to reach out, I saw someone in my exact same position, and I did nothing. And, I suck at, actually voicing, my thoughts, but, I kind of hate that. I wish I said something, but I didn't. I simply didn't. And I hope that guy's okay. I hope I was just misreading the situation, but even if I did just misread the situation, I should have said something. And I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, not to get dark or whatever, but so I did my speech and civics class, and it was fun. Like I said, some girls laughed, a couple guys laughed, whatever. But then the teacher said, "Hey, Grimleaf, can you stay after class?" And I'm like, okay. And I kind of assumed, because whatever, it's talking about foids and LARPing and incels and whatever. And she had me explain everything. And I'm like, yeah, so, foid, it used to be a bit of an insult online, but now everyone uses it ironically, whatever. And she's like, alright, well, I'm going to have to ask you to redo this. You said the entire speech out in front of the class, and, that's kind of scary for me as someone who doesn't fully understand it, but if your, definitions, which I didn't lie to her, obviously, whatever, then, but I think I'll just have to have you redo most of this, or at least just get rid of the dumb buzzword stuff. And then maybe add another source or two, just so I can actually understand and comprehend it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry, I always grown up, sort of politically comedic or whatever. I used to watch Colas for my political takes, but Colas, as much as I mention him and whatever, he was one of the big things of why I know a lot of just stuff like that. And I know incel or what. I know incel from Freshy Canal, I think. His Jason Dean versus Jeff the Killer rap battle. You're just me, girls, but with incels. My God, I'm stuck in the friend zone. Him. And also, there was another incel thing, but I forget which rap, whatever it was. But yeah, I tried to explain to her that, whatever, which I think, she was fine with it. She was definitely annoyed, and I do feel bad for that, I respect teachers or whatever, but, I think that little group of girls, and there were a couple guys, smirking or whatever, but mostly that random group of girls, they seem to get a kick out of it. And I think one of them, she sits by them, I'm not sure if she's with them, but there's this girl I sometimes talk to in my lunch club now, because before it was a full study hall I spent there. Excuse me. It was a full study hall, and now it's a lunch, because second semester. But she's there now. She comes in most of the time, and it's her and her friend. Her friend looks like I guess I am writing stuff. Vicky from Fish Tank. Oh wow, I can't type. Wow. Vicky Fish Tanks live. Yeah, she looks kind of like this, but with like dyed black hair and probably a little shorter on their hair here. And then the girl from the speech class, I know she looks kind of like Asby. Excuse me, I'm really tired. I have SATs tomorrow, so I've also been kind of panicking and, you know, trying not to die about that, but, who is Ashby? Yeah. Her. She kind of looks like her, but, like, a little blonder, and maybe a bit less, like, definition on the eye. Not that hairstyle. Okay, this isn't... Wow, that's cool. Yeah, she kind of looks like that, but maybe a bit more blonde. And she's pretty cool. I ended my speech with, "My name is Kyler, you did this to Cole," a buzzword. And she saw that. And I had shown up to school and done that speech with a Budweiser shirt on. It's just like a blue Budweiser shirt. And the lunch teacher saw it, and he's like, "Hey, you should probably take that off. Like, I'm not sure, you know, if you're supposed to be wearing that." And I'm like, "Alright, but, you know, all I have under it is my undershirt and then a, like, long sleeve, because I sometimes wear 3 shirts." And, yeah, so he's like, "Hey, can you take that off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then when that girl got there, she saw my shirt, and I was wearing the, I was wearing the Class of 09 Ari shirt, which is the same shirt, from the Christmas special. It's this shirt. It's the official one. Yeah, it's this. It's literally this shirt. I think. This one's DIY, but it's the, like, official licensed shirt. I have the Nicole one too, but the Nicole one has the Class of 09 logo on the background, so I'm not wearing that in a public server. But this one I can just wear, and, you know, those who know, know. But, yeah, so I was wearing that, and she came up, you know, into the classroom, and she's like, "Is that a Class of 09 shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have the Nicole one too, but it has the, logo." And so, you know, I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I even mentioned it in my speech, you know, my name is Kyler, you did this, Nicole." And she's like, "Yeah, I saw that, I was wondering." And, her friend ended up sitting, I think right behind her, and then she sat next to me. And, I got up to show the thing, and I'm like, "Yeah, there's also a ton of stuff I didn't mention, like, I changed it around a little bit, so, like, my actual thing from the post, whatever last post was, yeah, whatever the post last, time was, I changed it a little since then. I added a couple more words, a couple more lines, I think in the paragraph or something. But during my speech, I ended up not saying a couple of things. Like, I even had an eyebrow slit, and would even watch Baby No Money, Miku, or Demon Dice. And I didn't say Miku or Demon Dice in the thing, but it was still in the script. So I was using that as an example to, you know, just explain. And she's like, wow. And I'm like, "Yeah, Miku or Demon Dice." And her friend, the girl behind her, goes, "Demon Dice?" And I'm like, "You know Demon Dice?" And she's like, "I think so." And I'm like, Jesus, Japaneses?" And she's like, "Yeah, Moi Calliope, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, her." And she's like, "Yeah, I used to love her songs. I used to memorize a ton of them." So apparently, apparently Foids are listening to Demon Dice. Which, you know, I didn't like make fun of her for liking it or whatever. I like some. What's the Kanye quote where he's like, I respect some of the things Netanyahu did. What? I see some good things in Demon Dice, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. We've been talking a little bit during lunch. I have gym class with her friend, and currently we're playing pickleball, and I forget what the exact context was, but she said I think so because it's spike ball. I think she made a joke about how, like, if I play this enough, will I turn into a frat boy? And I'm like, no, you'll turn into Benjamin Netanyahu. Or no, she's like, if I play this enough, will I get to meet? It was that. We're talking about championships, I think, and how, like, stupid spikeball championships would be. And then she's like, well, if you're good enough, maybe you'll meet Benjamin Netanyahu. And I'm like, if you play this enough, you'll become Benjamin Netanyahu. And we were laughing about that. And then sometimes I get, like, Dunkin' Donuts, you know, short for calculator. But yeah, I'll get it and then I'll put it in my bag, which is just like a donut, and then I'll snack on that whenever. So one time when everyone was at the bench, because I'm tired and I'm scared. But yeah, Demon Dice. So I opened the thing, and behind me I go, "You have food?" And I look, and it's her, and she's, looking at me. And, there's my lighter, wow. I'm like, yeah, and I've been sick, you know. And she's like, can I have some? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I go to grab a little, like, piece of the donut, because I'll get this is the Charlie Kirk, honey tea, whatever drink, of, me. Normally you get this is the strat, by the way, for whatever. You get a refresher in the morning, probably a large or a medium. However the taste. And then you get a vanilla frosted and a strawberry frosted. And then maybe an extra one of whichever you like more. And then you drink the refresher on your way to school during your first class. Eat the donut as soon as you get it, and then save the other 2 donuts and occasionally just pull out the bag and eat them during the day. That's the method. Don't wear it out. But yeah, so I went to grab her some, and I'm like, actually I'm sick. You just grab, and so she's like, alright, and she broke off a little piece, and she had that. Which I just realized I'm not going to see them now. I might. But then I'm not going to see... like I said, we have SATs tomorrow, so... yeah, I'm going to be missing my first 2 classes, and I'm not sure about lunch, so I might miss them, which sucks. But, yeah. Plus I still have, like, 2 or 3 missing assignments. Counting the speech technique. So it's basically enough. I'm basically a functioning member of society, and I'm perfectly capable and pretty cool. Yep. And I'm like basically I'm an elite shock troop unit when it comes to literally anything. But I think that's a you problem, not me. It's you. And, fuck Mr. Burley Day, dude.